little bit of an impromptu video on my part. I've been trying to do more planning, and this one really isn't planned. It's a little bit more shoot from the hip, but I think it's really important. This video is important for you if you are highly sensitive, if you are tracking your ascension symptoms, if you are feeling the energies, if you're feeling the astrology, if you felt that huge Schumann's bump that happened this week. This video is for you because through my healing crisis, I am seeing some energetic anomalies, some different coding, some different clearing from past lifetimes that I've never seen before, and I want to give it voice. I want to give it voice and context and put it out there so that we can all have an awareness and have a conversation about it, because those of us who are doing this is our resistance. This is our shift work that is helping everybody else, and it's helping the familial lineage coding lines. I mean, this is all part of the movement. So I just want to put this information out there as far as context so we have something to discuss. So let me start from the top. And the top is that most of you who follow me fairly closely, you know that I have recently been going through a healing crisis, and it's been a long one. The recovery on it has been long, and right now I'm almost all the way through it. I'm down to about the 10% mark on it, and it's just ugh. But I want to share a little bit about what's personally going on with me so that you have some context to maybe track and gauge what you're going through as well. So here's the deal. When we got through to the end of May, my feeling was finally, we're going to be able to move forward and get out of some of this sludge energy that we've been in, and kind of have a little bit more energetic freedom and feel a lift and feel a move forward. And we definitely have had that. We definitely have been having some of that, even in the middle of all of this chaos. But a few days in, I started noticing this medical thing burbling in my body. And because I'm in menopause, my first thought was another menopausal anomaly. Because you ladies in menopause, Gen Xers and some millennials in menopause, you know that as we go through this, it's kind of like a moving medical event. If it's not one thing, it's another. And so that's how I felt. When this thing burbled up, I was another menopausal medical event. And I didn't take it too seriously. In the back of my head, I was I'll deal with it, I'll figure it out and deal with it in a couple of days. And that should have been my first red flag notice, because a couple of days went by and it got a little bit worse. And then somewhere along the lines, it was it got spiritually gaslit. I mean, I literally remember having this sensation of I should take care of that. And then it was a veil came over it. And it was, and I don't know if this was me gaslighting myself or my spirit team pulling a veil over it, because I went into full on ignore. I ignored my symptoms, and you all should know, you all know this about me. If I'm noticing something, I'm on it, right? I'm on it. I did the opposite. And then before I knew it, this whole thing had kind of bubbled up into crisis level. And as it's bubbling up, as it was coming up, I started having this feeling of, this is like a big psycho-somatic spiritual event. And still in the back of my head, I'm thinking, okay, if I get present with the energies and the psychosomatic spirituality of it, I should be able to just heal it, right? It'll heal itself. God, I can't remember a time that I have gaslit myself so much over something. And as it got worse, spirit teams started coming in and telling me the spiritual events that were going to happen with it. And somewhere in the middle of all of it, I remember looking at them or talking with them, and I literally got that feeling of they were looking over their shoulder because something was coming really fast. And I almost got this feeling that I was being put, I was being launched or triggered or put through this healing event crisis kind of at the last spiritual moment to have it all happen before other planetary things happen. I literally got that feeling of windows closing. We need her to get through this healing crisis. And that's about when it went It blew up on me. I was like, so long story short, I walked through the spiritual aspect of it, and there was an evening, like Spirit Team came in and they said, you're going to have a very powerful paranormal healing experience that's almost like out of body with paranormal energies and entities and stuff. And I went into the evening knowing that, and at this point, like, I'm in a lot of pain, I'm in a lot of discomfort, beginning to be in a lot of pain, kind of scared, like, oh God, what did I do? Did I really screw up? What should I be paying attention to? And that night I had one of the most powerful paranormal entity, spiritual healing experiences that I've had in a while, or even in my own life. I've had some pretty intense things happen in my life. This is right up there. I'll chalk this one up. It was right up there. And I got through it, and there's a feeling from spirit world of like, great, you spiritually got through what you needed to get through. Now, go get yourself to urgent care. I was like, what? It was like two diametrically opposed messages, because they kept saying, don't go to urgent care, don't go to urgent care, you're fine, don't go to urgent care. It's bubbling, like paranormal experience. I'm in the bath the next day, and they're like, get yourself to urgent care right now. Whew. And, and ever since then, I've been on this gradual ride of like very incrementally, gradually healing myself out of it, right? So some of the specific information that I can tell you that because some of this is very personal and I'm not ready to put out there on the airwaves yet, but some of the specific information that I can tell you is that the paranormal experience, the paranormal spiritual crisis healing experience that I had in intensity on that one night, you know what time period it was connected back into? It was connected back into early biblical times, like Jesus and Mary Magdalene and all the things that were going on with that, and Constantine, the Roman Empire. Like, my paranormal experience with my psycho-somatic spiritual healing paranormal event that happened that night, I got taken all the way back to that, and a little bit of Egypt, a little bit of old ancient Egypt. And ever since I came out of that, and I've been gradually, incrementally digging myself back through this gradual healing experience, been in a lot of pain. This has been some of the most sustained physical pain I think I've experienced in my entire life. But as I've been going through this very incremental healing, I am literally watching very old stuff fly out of the deepest parts of my body. A lot of it is Rome. A lot of it is ancient Rome, early biblical times. And it's the root. It's the root of where the toxic patriarchy anchored in and like took over everything globally. All of that has been peeling out of the root of my body for the last 2 weeks. And that's been happening at the same time that I am watching this illegal rogue regime, just like the 8-headed monster, just go, roar. And all I can think of is like, all of that coming out of Washington, D.C. started back around the time of Jesus and Constantine and Council of Nicaea, where they anchored in all this patriarchal energy and crushed women and crushed anybody else. And, that was when the whole system got put into place. And so I'm watching what's coming out of my body. I'm watching what's happening in DC, seeing the connection between the old and the now, and this 8-headed monster just, rearing its head and roaring. And I'm like, end times. Spirit Team had to get me through the gateway of that healing crisis, because all of this energy that's been anchored, really deeply rooted in my body, not just this lifetime, not just familial lineage, no, way, 2,000 plus years old past lifetime stuff, it's got to come out of my body to do the new time, because we're not taking those old energies into the new time. And what I find very interesting, have you all noticed how much more my voice is activating, like my voice is activating more, my presence is activating more, my sacred feminine. It's like basically I'm bumping off the 800-pound gorilla off of my sacred feminine, and her petals are all coming up, and I can speak and be heard more and seen more, and I don't give a flying flip about like, oh God, Dana, you're kind of putting yourself at risk saying this stuff. It's like, yeah, I know, but I also know they don't win. They don't make it. And it's the time of the sacred feminine. It is the time of Venice Daisy dancing in front of the LAPD barefoot. All right? Like, this is the kind of energy and the kind of shift and the kind of moves. And I find it so interesting that Spirit Team put me through a very intense, painful, scary, disorienting healing crisis that is in such alignment with everything that we're going through right now. Like, the stuff that is coming out of my body is ancient stuff, clearing out old toxic patriarchy stuff out of my body so my sacred feminine can breathe and sing and have power and joy and dance and live and love again in a way she hasn't been able to. And that's totally reflecting with all that shit that's coming out of Washington, D.C. All of that very old regime-oriented stuff that Constantine started as a political, religious movement 2,000 years ago. We're bringing that to a close, people. We're bringing that to a close. And I'm just going to say out loud, fuck the Council of Nicaea. Fuck the Council of Nicaea and the Book of Thomas that you buried and the Book of Mary Magdalene that you buried and all the other books that you buried, and you made women criminals and psychic criminals, and anybody who didn't line up for you, you made them all criminals, and we're not doing that anymore. I wanted to share a little bit more of the details of my healing crisis because I feel like it's pertinent information to share on a personal level. And the question that I have for you is, what are you noticing in your ascension symptoms, or old familial lineage things that are healing and leaving you, or past lifetime stuff that is healing and leaving you, or shifts that you're having in your own psyche, bringing yourself into an attunement and alignment that you never imagined or thought possible, that totally flies in the face of what we're being threatened with right now. It's almost as if the more they threaten, the more it revs us up to a whole other level. I swear to God, part of the reason I had this healing crisis is because of the shit that's coming out of Washington, D.C. I guess kind of silver lining stuff that I could say is like, the more they do their fear mongering, the more we ascend, the more we heal, the more we clear, the more powerful we get. It's like the amplitude is really, really beginning to shift. And I think that's what's going to happen this weekend. The June 14th thing this is where we go just, our amplitude goes off the charts in a way that no one is expecting. I would love to hear from you. I'd love to hear about your experiences with this. And maybe this will help create some context in some very irrational things that could be happening with our emotions, our mental state, our bodies, our energies. We're living in new times. We are navigating new landscape, and it's not necessarily making sense right now. Maybe in 2020 hindsight, but it's not necessarily making sense. And I think a bit of a conversation would be helpful here. If you want to share, if you don't want to share, totally fine. But if you want to share, that will help give us some context here. So, all right. So that's what I've got for you for now. Make sure you keep walking forward to meet those miracles along the way. And I will see you in my next video.